dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting from 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
Hey, 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 YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Absolutely awesome, I hope. Tonight we have a fellow Skagitonian with us tonight from Skagit Valley, Washington. And he's also, yes, he's a gold prospector. All you gold porn addicts, yes, he has gold porn. And we're going to be talking a lot about the best mat, in mine and Jesse's opinion, the dream mat. And who knows what else we'll talk about. Um, so kick back, relax, enjoy the show, get close to the fire, enjoy the warmth. We're all family here. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with ToledoJes and I.
Okay,
I wonder
now
if that's closer.
El
I wonder if that's closer.
Fonsetti, I believe it is, because
Yeah, but it's got
I know I always
Fonsetti,
screw up on those
but
words.
but it also says
Names.
art. Fonsettiart. David Alfonsetti art.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't
I
see comments
see.
on
Make
mine.
Well,
him Ed.
maybe
Make him
he's
call it. Make him call in and tell us how to pronounce his last name.
right.
Maybe it's not. Maybe Alfonsetti is his last name, and art is what he does.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Do us a favor, David. Call in on Open Line Tuesday at the end of the month so we could get it settled once and for all.
Wait.
Thank you all for being here.
In case you didn't know, Ricky's got us live already.
Well, I should hope so. You should know. That's usually how it rolls, right?
How's it going, Ed?
Not too bad, not too bad. Been lucky
Yes,
enough.
you said it right,
some...
and I am an artist. Awesome, dude.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
We were debating. I was sitting here looking at your name, looking and studying, and looking at it. Oh, wait, what's going on?
What is it? What is it?
It is Alfonsetti, and he is an artist.
Well, excellent.
Welcome, David.
Excellent.
Let's real quick say hi to our friends in the chat room.
Like our friends in the chat room.
Like Ohio Relic Hunter and Ronnie Adventures.
Can Do Veteran.
Can Do.
GoPro Unlimited. No gold in Utah, you bunch of liars.
Campsite 419.
Our Canadian friends and our Aussie friends. Brad, good morning.
Hey, and our American friends from Indiana. What's up?
That's right.
Wood Trails Gold Camp.
Right. Yes, good place to go. Unfortunately, I've only been there once, but I
haven't been there yet. I haven't been there.
We need to get down there, Jesse. I'm going down for Can Do's birthday, the weekend of around the 20th of May, I believe. I'll be heading down around the 18th of May. And I plan on being there the whole day, the 19th and Saturday, Sunday, of course.
So, a while back I told you, I couldn't make the show one night because I had to leave early one night because I was working on my bathroom, right?
Right.
So today I'm buttoning up and finishing some trim work and sanding some stuff down, getting ready to paint. I get under this kitchen sink and my arm's wet.
The bathroom sink.
Yeah, the bathroom.
What's
going on here? Yeah. I'm looking around like somehow my drain is leaking, so I got to take that all apart.
That happens. Plumbing sucks.
Construction
Jason
sucks.
AU Colorado and
DIY sucks.
Yes. Finding Alabama. Are you home now, Jeremy? Sculpture,
Jason? Hey, you Colorado?
painting, drawing, and theme park exhibits. Cool, cool.
Oh, cool. Oh, awesome.
Sweet.
Hey, you help me out with some t-shirts here then, huh? Guys, with some t-shirts.
Who
I got
else
lots of
is
stuff
there?
in my head, just no ability in my hands.
We can't forget the world's greatest super mod, Mr.
Oh,
Loda,
absolutely.
JP
I was just looking to see if he was
Lonzamore.
here. I didn't see him.
Oh, he's here. M.A.
What's up, Jared?
Lyman. Good to see you, Michael.
Finally in Alabama, still driving.
Jeremy, just drive safely. T-Rep, hello, and Terry P. and Jessica Mendez. Your
My daughter's
daughter's in the room.
What's up with my chat?
Top Notch, aka Indiana Gold Getter, getting Scotty, aka Not Swiftwater Tony, aka Randy Scotty Tony.
RST
He's
in
driving
the
too
house.
because he's on his phone. That's why he's top notch. You drive safe. And Tin Man Magnet Fishing, he's over at Rusty Magnets live stream. Willie, you traitor. I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he's not kidding.
Yeah.
He's
They should have had their show on another night.
I guess we couldn't hang on to him tight enough.
Well, after all, he is a magnet chucker.
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay. And Willie's a good member of the FlashFam.
Yep. He's a magnet fisher.
Yep.
But tonight we got a gold prospector.
That's right.
From your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Robert Dupotti, hope you're feeling good. He's confirmed with the Rooney. So, hope you get back to dredging speed soon. Yes, this guy right here, Rick Stash, he's from Marble Mount, Washington, in the beautiful Skagit Valley where I call home. He was a ways upriver from where I live, though. I live downstream from Birdsview a little in the Pumpkin Center area, but some might not know the Pumpkin Center area. I am sure you do, Rick, but the Lyman Hamilton area. But yeah, Rick's. I think I was 10 miles downriver from Concrete, and you're even a bit farther upriver from Concrete.
Yeah, it's about 18 miles or so, 20 miles.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. You have Diablo and
we got all the lakes,
Lake.
Yep.
The Cascade River right there.
Cascade, the Skagit. We got hundreds of creeks up here, waterfalls everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Pretty awesome area.
No, that it is. I miss that place so bad, and I love watching the Pacific Northwesterners videos, but I hate it. I'm sure you could understand why, Rick.
I totally understand why. It's oh man, I got a couple friends, good buddies that they've moved away from the valley, and they're like, I love your videos, but I hate them also because I'm kicking myself in the butt having to move away. But he's like, man, it's just the views, the fresh air, the mountains. It's a completely different place. it's one of a
Yeah.
kind. It's,
I could probably show them a picture of our valley, and they'd understand why right away.
mhm.
Um, I think I'll grab the one I opened up in chat with you about. I should
Yeah,
have it.
there's a lot of people go up there to take pictures of that.
Well, it's a beautiful view. It's a really
Well,
beautiful view.
on a crystal clear day, from that view, you could see all the way up into the Cascade Mountain Range. So you'll have the
Well,
glaciers lit
that
up. And
glacier in the
yep,
background is the Cascade Range and the Cascade River Valley right in
yep,
your backyard.
right. My whole backyard's right here, man.
Yeah, all here I'm gonna share the valley. This is going up to where my old mining claims was. This is a turnout on the Upper Finney Creek Road, um, and you're looking upriver, the Skagit River Valley. Um, to your left would be Sauk Mountain, and to the right would be the Sauk River Valley, if I remember right. And those peaks in the back that are all covered in snow year round, that's the Cascade Range. Cascade Rivers back there. You could see a valley back there. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Maybe I
for some
should have
reason
had you on, Rick. Damn it. No.
I'm not yeah, I'm not seeing the picture or anything come up on my screen.
Are you? It's not going to come up on your
Oh,
Zoom
you
screen.
won't
It's
see
on the
it on
YouTube.
Zoom. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
I'm showing all of them. The
Gotcha.
beauty of the valley I used to live in. We have some other Washingtonians in here.
Yeah,
Guido's
classic.
in here. How you doing, Guido?
Radio
Checking
finally
my
showed up.
mailbox daily. Radio, you're 10 minutes late, buddy. Just messing with you, Ronald. Just messing. Thanks for stopping in, Martin.
Marty's nuts
Just in
about
time.
jigging is in the house. What's up?
Ohio Relic Hunter, our friend Bill. I miss it. Got another taste last September when I visited my old stomping grounds. Yeah, I hear you. When I went there for my mom's funeral, I was only there for one full day, and I didn't even go near my valley. I stayed at a prospector's friend's house in Auburn, and I drove down to Camas and drove back and woke up the next day and hopped on an airplane back home. So
Wow.
yeah, it was a real quick visit. I felt it took a lot out of me, you know. Just being home for one full day and on two jet plane rides and
Mm-hmm.
10 hours of driving. Oh, but hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
I remember what day it is, and I'm doing good. I
Hey,
hope you're doing good, Ronald. I really hope you're doing well, buddy. But remember, we start at 8 o'clock
on
every
your
Tuesday
request.
night. And we're on this night because you requested it. And you
Hey,
think you think I'm ever gonna let you not hear about it?
you should put a banner up on there. By Earth Radio request, Tuesday night Hangout Live.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Hey, look, that's outwards in has arrived.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? No, you know we love you, Ronald. We love all our FlashFam.
So did you get your Washington out of you for a little bit now, Ed? You still want to
Oh,
talk some more?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. It
You
always comes
know,
up.
Washington
But
and whole is beautiful, let alone the ocean, the coast. Then you
Yeah.
have the mountains and the farmland. Then you have the wet side and the dry side. Plus,
Yep.
there's such a rich gold history. Even in our own backyard in Skagit Valley, it's booming
Yep.
with boom towns and like Hamilton area, not really
Yep.
known for its gold, but it was going to be the Pittsburgh of the West Coast.
hmm
They had Iron Mountain and
Yep.
what is that other mountain right across the river from it? But they had coke there, but it wasn't a good enough grade to make really high quality steel. So
hmm
Hamilton is now pretty much a ghost town.
Yep.
no, Hot Relic Hunter says Washington, desert, rainforest, mountains, and ocean all in the same day.
You can do that
Yeah.
just like Southern
Yep.
California, you know. You
Yep.
definitely
I
can
woke
do
up.
that.
I woke up. It was snowing. It was nasty, and next thing you know, it halfway through the day, it turned out to be sunny, and now it's
That's
warm. We'll be
Ohio
out in
weather. What are you
pictures.
talking about?
It does what it wants to.
We had that.
Skagit Valley's really weird, Jesse. Like at my house in Pumpkin Center, or even when I lived farther up behind Cope and Notch logging, I lived off of O'Hara Road up there,
Yeah, they're
and
on the corner.
and I was a little higher in elevation because I was up on a ridge, but it'd be snowing. I mean, hard at
Yeah.
my house. 4 miles down the road in Lima, it'd be raining cats and dogs, you know. And
Well, I've seen that before too.
go to bed, oh, we might get a little snow tonight and wake up with 2 feet in my yard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible.
they got hit pretty hard again today in California, Northern California, not that way.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen a post where it was where was that at? Something Bear Mountain or something like that. It was up at a ski resort, and their snowfall so far for this year is 53 feet. And
Wow.
it's got one picture of the ski lift and all that and the pole, and then here's the updated picture from yesterday of the guy standing at the top of the pole on the snow.
Yeah.
They got
Well,
dogs.
both coasts are getting hit pretty hard this year.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
East Coast
I
is getting
noticed a
hit pretty
lot of
hard right now
snowfall.
too. Yeah, there's a lot of storms happening. Hell, even the South is getting hit.
Surprisingly, Marble Mount didn't really get hit this year. We got really lucky. We got some pretty good snow storms. It dumped a couple feet here and there. But it's been a really strange winter. It would snow here and not everywhere else, or it would be nice here and it's snowing. Like you said, 8 miles down the road, it's dumping snow, and there was nothing happening here. Um, we get the weather and all that comes down off of the Fraser and down Ross Lake and all that, and then we get the weather from down valley, some towards Darrington coming up through the valley coming this way. But yeah, it's been a really really weird winter. We got real lucky we didn't get hammered. I've seen some pretty bad winters here in
Right.
Marble Mount, but everywhere else I
Every
noticed
time,
they got hammered.
every time you say Marble Mountain, I think of Vietnam because that's where I was stationed in Marble Mountain.
No.
Uh-oh, flashbacks. Orlando. Welcome, Orlando. DV completed chemotherapy today.
Nice.
and she
Congrats.
want to share the love with everybody. Excellent, TV.
Yep. Uh, yeah, I applaud you. I know the struggle with doing chemo. It's not fun. It is not fun.
Yeah,
Let's see.
snowpack helps, T-Rep, but at least we're in Washington. We're not like California and like Arizona and Lake Havasu and stuff. But still, they're making up for lost water though this year. That's for sure in the mother
Yeah.
load.
Oh yeah, give me
But-
two weeks to go. That should be a fun trip this summer.
Yeah, if I can end up swinging it.
Yeah, me
Well,
too. I'm working on it.
yeah, see the Gold Club that I'm part of, Washington Prospector Mining Association. We also have claims down there in California.
Aren't they on the
And
Klamath though?
yeah.
I found my
Um,
biggest nugget ever off the Klamath River on the Scott River.
Wow. Yeah, so
Almost
we
5
need to make a trip down
ounces.
there. So what they're predicting is with all this snowfall and everything, it's going to blow out a lot of that old burden and areas, and they're really thinking that there's going to be a lot of nice gold deposits after this
Oh,
melt.
you know it.
So
Northern California and the Siskiyous in the Klamath, I'm sure. The Mother Lode. I used to be a proud member of Washington Prospectors Mining Association. Also the Bedrock Prospectors out of Puyallup. I thought they also had some properties in like Josephine County of Oregon too.
I think
Southwest
so. I'll have to look
Oregon.
at the list. We've got what 40, I think 43 or 48, I can't remember, claims throughout Washington, Oregon, and California. There are just so many. But these are really nice claims, and it's not just all placer claims either. We've got hard rock claims. We just got a Ellensburg blue claim.
Ooh, nice.
So I've actually got a piece that the the new vice president for the club he showed up to a little day dig on my birthday and brought me a piece of the Ellensburg blue. And he got quite a bit off our new claim. Going out and scouting it and working it, and it's loaded. So I'm kind of excited
So
about
what
that too.
was the name of that club again?
WPMA,
Washington.
Washington Prospectors Mining Association.
Because that's one of the things that I tell people, especially new people are just starting, join a local club. Join a local club. It'll help.
You're right,
Well,
T-Rep. The Upper Sultan River claims are nice too, and they need to keep a hold of those.
Yeah.
If those slip, good luck getting them back.
They plan on keeping those.
Well,
I don't know what's going to happen after the fires.
Those been in the club for over 20 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, and those guys still go up there and they still get really nice gold.
I've seen some nice gold come off the Sultan River. Some nice stuff.
Yeah.
They still have stuff in claims in Blewett Pass also.
Yeah.
Liberty area and Blewett Pass. Very rich history
right
there.
next to the Liberty. There's like a park right there, I guess, and you can park in there, and it's right down the creek or the stream there. You can walk right onto the club claims. So I got to get over and go check those out. We got a few members that go actively out throughout the different claims down that way. I work the claims up here, but I'm trying to venture out. It's just these other claims are a little bit of a travel for me.
Well,
but
I
we're working
understand
on it.
that, and unfortunately, back home, if if you want to go somewhere, it isn't just, oh, I'll go this way.
Yeah.
You have to drive 40 miles to I-5 and down a
Yep.
couple
Out of
hours.
route.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I lucked out with the claims up here. It's what 45 minutes. I can be at the trailhead and start hiking in.
Well,
So
up there in
get up
Marble
early,
Mount,
not
you
really
have
rush.
all the stuff right off of
I can go to any one of these creeks
Canyon Creek
and
District,
Yep.
and it's a
Here,
shame. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting his name, but he just passed away not too long ago.
Yeah, Bruce Pedler.
No, not Bruce, but Bruce did too. He was
Yep.
Washington Prospectors Mining Association, but I want to say Jason or Jaron. He's oh gee whiz.
Oh, the old president of the Slate Creek Mining District.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he recently passed.
Uh,
Him and his buddy I recently met. They they worked all those areas that I've been on up there. Um, they've been working those for years. Um, yeah, they've been in some very, very impressive areas.
yeah, they've been
Just
doing a
long
lot
hikes
of
though.
work up in that Slate Creek district.
Yeah,
Um,
Slate Creek. I've I've hiked almost up into the forks up there from the canyon into the Slate, and had to turn around. It was getting late in the day. I still had to hike out. Um, but yeah, that Slate Creek. I've got buddies that sent me pictures from over there on our claims, and they said, yeah, it looks like the edge of the earth. It's completely different everything.
well,
So.
you're starting to get into the rain shadow there too, so you have a lot less
Mhm.
underbrush in the valley floor or in the forest floor like we do on our side of the Cascades, and
Yeah, it's really crazy on when you get up there right in the middle of them Cascade Mountains. One side, it's got pine trees and it's dry, and the dirt's actually dry, and then right on our side of the mountain, it's just normally wet. It dries up during the summer, but
wet
it's hot
all
summers,
the
but
time.
so yeah, it's a rainforest on our side, and it's like the desert on the other side of the mountain. So yeah, it's pretty interesting on how different things are, and they get a harder winter on their side than we do. Ours is actually a warmer winter than them, but I
Well,
think
yeah, we're temp wise, they get a lot colder
yeah.
but don't the Cascades are pretty big mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Like Baker gets world records all the time, like 100
Yep.
feet of snow on Baker all the time.
Yep.
But I know it gets frigid cold over there.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I'm having a surprise attack by my granddaughter. Get in here real quick. You don't have cats with you. Of course you do.
I got a cat.
Okay,
We
here.
got a cat.
Yeah, we got new kittens.
Yep,
Our,
everybody hit that like button.
They're so cute.
show
Yeah, I've
them
got
our new kittens.
our kitty's in heat. He's gonna be noisy tonight.
Yeah.
No.
Bacchus says, "Howdy, little one," and says, "Meow." Jeff says, "Hi, Ed's granddaughter. Good evening, gang. Digging D finds." Okay, honey. Don't tear down my green screen, please.
Yeah. So the last WPMA meeting, we have what I think 2 meetings a month or 1 meeting a month. So they end up doing these little raffle, things at the meetings. So guys win gold. They win some Ellensburg blue coins, different things. I got 2 pickers off of 1 meeting. My ticket was drawn, and that was from another prospector's grandfather that used to mine over in Arizona. So that's pretty cool. Those I did not bring in; they're out in the shed. But
Uh-oh.
here,
Here, let me pin
I
you
won this
up.
little coin, the prospector's coin.
Oh, I saw your
99.
post on that.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's my first prospector's coin. Yeah, they're pretty neat. Ounce of silver. Shoot, now I gotta collect the other ones.
Might as well show a little gold porn now because I've been
Yeah,
already hit up in the chat room about
yeah, they want to see a little bit of gold.
Here, Ed. There's my kitty.
Nice.
it.
Yeah,
She don't
so
like to be held though. She doesn't like to be held.
Washington up in my area, it's it's always been known for its flour gold and small gold. There's only a few places throughout like our area where you can actually get some chunky material, but you're Ed, as Ed knows, you gotta earn it. You gotta work for it pretty hard. It's not real easy to do. Pour some of this gold out here into this pan.
Well, if it was, everybody'd be doing it.
Well, that's it. It's everybody would be doing it. So here's some of the Cascade gold. See if I can stand up here.
At least you don't have water in the pan, Ed.
Yeah, I
Right,
didn't put water
right.
in the pan. Try to get some spread out here. So it's small stuff. You know, we do get some nice little pickers. Here's a nice flat flake right there. Let's see.
Nice.
Try to get my phone to adjust.
That's it.
Um, here's one that I got about 4 years ago, and we're gonna use this one as part of making our rings. But let's see, trying to get
That's
where
some
you
nice
guys.
little stuff there. It's bigger than most of the stuff we find.
Yeah, it's a nice little chunk of gold. Nice little picker. I don't know if you can hear that or
There's
not.
some parts back home, Jesse, where you'll have native gold coming from a source somewhere upriver, and then you'll also have glacial gold too. Oh, ain't that a flash in your pan? Pun intended.
Yeah, it's there's some nice chunky pieces. But these dream mats, um, surprisingly, they're kicking butt, dude.
You gotta tell me.
Well, the thing is before I had dream mats, I didn't really see any of this small gold, and
You didn't see the real tiny stuff, did you?
yeah, you'd see some little gold, but I wasn't capturing it, So once I got the into the dream mats about 4 years ago, then I started to actually see the smaller gold come out, and it was easier to catch. I didn't have to deal with all those extra black sands and stuff because here there's places, several rivers and creeks around here where you get one scoop, and you go do a test pan, and you can't actually pan it out because it's freaking loaded with black sands. It's difficult. So that the Dream Mat didn't really helping me out. Capturing all the smaller gold. It's I know that the old timers, they went and worked this area pretty hard. But they weren't equipped with things like Dream Mat and other products that we have today. So I know that
also they weren't going after the hard stuff. They were going for what was easy.
For the easy
they were going
diggings.
anything that they could that was easy. The flour gold wasn't cutting it for them.
Right. Well, no, because not only that, it wasn't worth the money either when you think about it.
Yeah.
Back then, you're looking at what, $20, $30 an ounce.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It was like $30 tops.
Right. So back then, for you to have to dig that much and just like tiny little dust, not that they didn't catch it, because I'm sure they didn't throw any of it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with the different,
think how much more they could have caught.
Well, with the different,
we would have nothing to find now.
Yeah, with the old wooden boxes and the wooden ripple and everything they put in there, logs, rocks, whatever. Darn well it wasn't efficient. So whatever they could get with what they had. So
the reality back then too is, look, you didn't want to spend a ton of money.
No, they didn't have a lot of money either.
Right, like today, right? I mean, our club here in Ohio on Gold Rush days, they still use a 20, 30-foot long wooden tom, long tom, with carpet in it. Just carpet. That's all they put in there. Boy, but you should see the gold they catch. Just tons of tiny little stuff. But they also lose a lot.
Yep.
So
well,
that was the thing too. When I first started using Dream Mat, one of the things that convinced me that this was catching more gold was where we prospect. I can go on a day using any other equipment, carpet, ripple, all that stuff. And I have an idea what my average take is going to be for that day, depending on how hard I work. Right. But I went out there for the first time with a Dream Mat and I was amazed at how much more gold I caught.
I think I think the reason why that happens, that you're capturing more gold for number one, Dream Mat is the best. It's
yes, in my opinion, so far.
To this point, Dream Mat is the best for capturing gold, processing the material. And I think that the reason why folks like myself that work in these harder areas where there isn't a lot of gold and it's really small, or you get an occasional chunkies in there, so you have to run a lot of material in order to get some decent amount of gold. And like you said, you could basically go, okay, you can get 1/10 of a gram here, or half gram days, 1 gram days. But it wouldn't happen if you can't, process that material. That's why Dream Mat's so nice. You just pound it through and just you got to trust the mat. You just let it run, run it. Get that material through there. You ain't catching it unless you put it in your box.
Yep. And another advantage, no classified.
Yeah. It's you just dump it in there.
My favorite sluice is my River Raider, which was made by Ron for the Hills Prospector, Mike, whatever. But he makes a 4-inch, I think it's only 4 inches, 4 or 5 inch wide sluice box.
It's 6 inches.
But is it 6 inches? No, I don't think it's that.
It's.
I have to go look at it. No, it's no, because it'll fit in my 6-inch sluice. It's only 4 inches, but it's got really deep walls. They're about 4 inches, right? And you can just lay that in water.
I think it's 6 inches. Yes.
No, I think it's a 4 inch for the River Raider.
Yeah, it's
not
bigger.
the creek critter.
It's bigger than the creek critter. It's longer and bigger.
It's longer, but it's not wider. Trust me.
It's the same width. I think I'd bet on it. I think I'd
Okay.
bet on
How
it.
much? How much?
Name it. I think I'd bet on it.
How
I'm
much?
not a bettor, Jesse. I think I'd bet on it.
How much?
What is it worth to you? What are
Oh,
you
what's it worth to
willing
you to
to
prove me wrong?
lose?
What's
What
it
are
worth
you
to you to prove me
willing to
wrong?
lose? Takes
All I know
the,
is I
takes
lay
the
that
same
sucker and it's
mat
got
as the
deep
creek
water.
critter. Takes the same mat
No,
as the creek critter.
nope, it's not. It uses the 1-inch cells. The River Rider uses the big mat. It uses the original Dream Mat in it.
The original Vortex.
Yep.
Yep.
But with that thing, I find me a spot where I want to dig and I build me a dam.
Yep.
And I just shovel from right there, straight into the box.
Yep.
We have an update on an adventure sluice, Jesse.
Yes, I know.
See Bill's comment?
Oh, where? Let me see.
I've been testing this DM adventure sleuth. Awesome results. We know that, Bill. No
I'm
doubt
telling you,
about it.
But see,
Yeah, the
here's
adventure.
here's the thing though. We can say that till we're blue in the face,
True,
but until you
true.
actually run it yourself,
Yep.
you don't really realize how much better a system this is. You just don't realize it until you run it yourself.
I totally
That's
understand.
why we're gonna give one away tonight. We're gonna give an adventure sluice away
I
tonight.
totally understand where they're coming from too. Because I used to be die-hard Miner's Moss and Expanded Metal. Die-hard, nothing better.
Yeah. What I've got pretty much all of the dream mats in different sizes. And I put together basically a combo sluice that I called Big Susie. It was a big one. It was just as tall as I was. The box was 12 inches wide. I was able to put, my dredge mat in there, the mini mat, anything. And then finally I was like, well, shoot, some of these lower flow areas, and I could just run a whole bunch of material. I just, you know, I ended up cutting some mats down and fitting them in there and putting together the basically what is now the combo mat. But it's the same thing as the adventure sluice. It's just a big one, a really big one. And to this day, the other day I finally got to go back out, after the snow, and I run that combo mat, my 12-inch river sluice, and we just pound material through it and do one clean out at the end of the day. I've been trying to get more videos of the combo mat lately, because a lot of people are asking questions about it, and will it catch a picker or a big flake, or what happens to the flat flakes? I can explain it like you mentioned until I'm blue in the face, but you don't understand it until you actually run it for yourself, and you'll be really
Right.
surprised.
Right. Oh
And
yeah.
you can run that water deep, and you can run it hot.
Oh yeah.
It works great. These guys are figuring out that you could put a combo mat inside of
Well,
a nice little
Dave
high bank.
just introduced a new mat over the weekend. And
Yeah.
it is a combo mat, the 6x16 combo. The little sluice mat.
Enough folks have been going,
Now
hey,
it's out. Yeah, he's got it in the combo.
Yeah, that's awesome. With those little 6-inch sluices, man, they fit right in the backpack. They're lightweight. The kid could run it. Anybody could run it. I got a buddy, Leo. He's always in the trips. He's hiked up to the Plains with me a lot. He's in a lot of my videos. Freaking awesome dude. He got a couple of those little 6-inch sluices and started buying the mats for those. And he's starting to realize that, he could run, a decent amount of material and do the same thing one cleanup a day. I
Right.
watched them
And
run
what's
16 buckets through one of them little sluices and
right.
did one clean out, and there was dang near 3 grams in that little sluice.
Here's the nice thing about DreamMat too. A lot of the things that everybody's worried about. Oh, well, my material's different. My water's different. My this is different. That's different. I run clay. I run this. I run that.
Yeah.
And for some of the newer mats, you have to change over your mats to accommodate what you're running. You have to buy extra mats to figure that out. The nice thing about a dream mat, you put the dream mat in, and as long as you've got that exchange happening there, it doesn't matter what your material is. As long as you get that exchange working, I don't care if you're running clay. You always got to break clay up for sure.
Yeah,
but,
that's common.
If you're running just tons of gravel, tiny gravel, big gravel, just dirt, whatever, that mat will go through all that material. You just got to figure out your angles for to get your
water flow.
Yeah, your water flow and your exchange going right. Exchange.
What I love best about it? It's the 2-minute clean out.
Oh yeah. You grab that thing and
clean it right. It's even a faster clean out than Gold Hog. Gold Hog's a good sluice or sluice mat. It does what it's made to do, but preferably I prefer Dream Mat. It cleans out a lot faster. And even though no matter how much I loved miner's moss in the past, I am not one to mine cons. I don't sell pay dirt. I don't need a bunch of cons. Right, Jesse? We're not mining cons.
We're not mining cons. I personally don't like sitting there for hours panning, a bunch of material after a weekend.
Or running it in a cleanup sluice at home,
It's a small little cleanup, at home or a couple little quick pans and you're done with all of the weekend stuff. And normally it would take a while,
Oh yeah, all winter.
All winter.
And the great thing about a clean out taking minutes, I have a video on how fast it is to do a clean out, and it's no time.
Outdoor Wally, Green Mat would catch all of them garnets for you too.
Well, so check this out. So here on Saturday, I went with another prospecting buddy that I met through the mining community, and he's like, "Hey, I want to take you to my spot this time." So I'm like, "Hey, cool, somewhere new, check out a new creek."
Sure.
And so he took me up in there, and we start running material, and he's like, "Check out all them garnets." I'm like, "Huh?" And I walk over to my sluice, and I've already, ran 4 of these big 10-gallon little cans that I got, and the back of my sluice, like where my tailings going on through, and all my cells, and right where the mat drops off is all purple garnets. Just loaded with purple garnets.
Have you ever done any sluicing by index?
The other day, I was up by a couple weeks ago. I went on a little group dig. That was on the Skycomish, I think it was. I didn't make it quite to index yet, but all the snow.
Let me see. Let me see. The Skycomish Valley, that's where Gold Bar is, and
I was up
Monroe, and you keep going up, head towards. Isn't that the Stillaguamish that goes into the Skycomish? that flows through Index.
That could be.
That river, Wally, is loaded with garnets, and there's some really nice. You can find some schist up farther, some outcroppings of schist, just loaded with garnets. Loaded.
Yep.
Big garnets too.
Yeah, where we're at, the guy pulled a big garnet out of his dream mat. He just reached in and picked it out. But it was huge. I've never, I've never seen so many garnets in my life. And, that we get a lot of garnets in certain areas we dig, but that was impressive.
Oh,
I've never
I'm
seen so
wrong.
many
Yeah,
garnets.
It's the North Fork Skycomish River goes through Index.
I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, Rick, but Dave has a video where he's catching gems with the dream mat, because gems are also heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're in an area where like garnets or whatever gems you might be looking for, you just gotta know that it's not going to be as heavy as gold, but it's still going to get caught in those cells.
Yeah, it will.
Those cells are killer, man.
Yep. I found the year before last, I was running Dream Mat up on the Cascade River, way up there. I was up there digging, and I looked down in the second row, and I see this thing glowing, and I'm like, "What in the world is that?" And I'm looking in there, and it looked like a teardrop underneath water. What the heck is that? A piece of glass or something? So I pulled my mat out, and I looked, and I think it's a like a little diamond, like, just a rough cut, but it's completely clear. And when it was underwater, it looked like a teardrop. It glowed and reflective. And there's folks that I know up here that
you can find diamonds by the creeks that come off of Whitehorse.
Yep.
I believe that's in the
they're heavy enough.
Darrington
They're definitely heavy enough to get caught in the mat.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, they're heavier than most.
Other countries and folks that diamond mine, they run them in sluices. But what do they use? They use Vaseline or oil.
Yeah, because
they use a lard. The diamond will stick to lard. And then you melt the lard and retrieve the diamonds, and then you reuse the lard.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because like gold, diamonds are hydrophobic. So yeah, they get stuck in the grease or oil or whatever you have. But I think just a dream mat alone would catch diamonds. I don't know. I'm not in the diamond field, so
yeah.
Well, I know that it does catch silver sulfides. I know that for a fact because I got some material from Robert Burgess, from the Libby, Montana.
Yeah.
The Snapshot Mining and Milling.
Right.
So he sent me some crushed up ore that he added. There was some gold in it, free gold that was in it, but it was mainly silver. And I was like, I wonder if the Dream Mat would actually catch this stuff, because it is a little bit lighter than gold. And I've got a little video and some pictures of the Dream Mat silver. And it caught it like really, really well. All the cells were just lined with silver. All the cells were silver. It was cool. But I know that it does catch silver.
Yeah. Catch a lot of the heavies, the way those cells work, I love it, like I told you before, everything I own has it in it, including my banjo pan. Actually, Dave wouldn't be making those banjo pan sluice mats if it wasn't for me, probably.
right?
Yeah, I've got one of those banjo pans actually. It came with the Daniel Reed's bucket rig.
Right.
And so I
you sold that for me.
yeah, so I ended up taking the mini the micro mat. I took that strip out and I cut a piece of the Cape D because it was a little bit more aggressive, a little bigger cells. Over here it's like I was saying, it's the black sand is so bad over here, and all the hematite and magnetite,
Right.
it'll load up pretty quick. So I put the bigger cells in there, the Cape D, and man, that thing works great.
Well, Daniel Reed's bucket rig there.
Mhm.
I actually did that for my cleanups for my blue bowl for cleaning up in the house with the
Gotcha.
banjo pan and Ed's banjo pan with the dream mat in there. And I started running that as my cleanup at home. And the next time
Yeah.
I see Daniel Reed with his for outdoors, which is, it works.
Yeah.
Well,
It works.
I
I
just think
have
it's too slow
mine set
myself,
up the
but
same way as you, Jesse. My blue bowl and
Yep.
banjo pan.
Yep.
But
I've
when
seen,
I was
I've seen quite a few videos of people doing that, and it doesn't
Sure.
hurt to have a little backup to check, make sure your blue bowl's lined up and ready. Because if you're not sitting there watching it, yeah, you can blow a little bit of gold out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
no matter what, you're gonna lose a little. Nothing catches 100%, and if they say it does, they're lying.
Yeah, you're gonna have those one or two, sometimes three tiny little specks, that to me, I'm like, dang it. But yeah, that's when you've
But
got
you don't want to throw it back.
Yeah, when you got anywhere from 300 to a couple thousand pieces of gold in there, those couple little specks don't mean anything really.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier today, that one video I did up against the wall, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You check that one out. Also, the other video that you might find really interesting is 2 runs.
2 runs.
2 runs.
Okay.
What I did in that one was to show I had a set amount of gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I showed my losses compared to my what I actually captured. And it's also the up against the wall video is part of that video, but I separated it kind of. But yeah, check that video, those 2 videos out. You'll see.
Yeah, I'll check those out.
You'll see that the dream mat will catch gold at a 90-degree angle. You'll see that when you really look at your losses and stuff, and what you find compared to what you lose.
Yep.
You look at your losses and go, well, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know we're gonna lose gold. I mean,
yep.
The idea is try not to lose as much as the next guy, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. You're always learning, always improving.
Right. And like Ed and I both tell Dave, and we tell him all the time, yours at this point is the best product, but if another product comes out that's going to do better than this, we're going to go to it. Goes, yeah, I know. It's like everybody else.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's really zero competition when it comes to the dream mat. There's a couple that are close, but all those other companies that they've got pretty much the same idea. And with Dave, that was a completely different idea. And to this day, I've sat up at night, I can't sleep, and I'm just thinking on how I could actually come up with something better. And I'm not being very successful with it. I've tried all sorts of stuff.
It's really hard. It's really hard to surpass Mother Nature with what she does. Well, because you think of what the dream mat actually does, and like I tell people, look, when it's raining, it's flooding out on the river, and you want to go scope out and scout your river to see
Yep.
where you can find the gold, what do you look for? You look for eddies, you look for swirls.
Yep.
Then you mark those spots and you go back and check them when the river's down again. Wonder
Yep.
why.
Hey, and see me being a full outdoorsman, you know, hunting, fishing, hiking, and all
Right,
that.
right.
I understand a lot. I floated these rivers for, you know, my entire life.
Right.
There's lots of big eddies and stuff throughout the river. There's big turns,
Oh,
big
yeah.
holes. The best way that I feel as far as understanding Dream Mat and somebody going out and checking to see the direction of where the heavies are falling out, blah blah blah. Get out there, grab a fishing pole, throw on, you know, a good chunk of weight, cast that thing upstream, and walk that thing down and watch where your weight ends up. And in those
Right.
big eddies, what happens is it takes off on down through there, and it slows and drops out, you know, just like it drops out into the cell area, and it pulls it back up into that eddy. And if you just let it sit there, it's just gonna keep going around and around and around in a
Right.
It will
circle, and
stay right there.
it
Right.
won't leave that hole. It won't leave the hole unless you jerk that thing up and try to. It's stuck in there, and gold's
Right.
gonna react the same way.
Well, let's just say, look, it's no different than a regular ripple in the sense that it creates an eddy where it sucks everything down in it. But it does that on a horizontal plane. Where the Dream Mat does the exact same thing, but it does it in a vertical column, which grabs everything up and throws it through there first. You know, in a horizontal on a horizontal plane, whatever is heavy enough to drop down into that vortex down there will get caught there. But if it's going fast enough, it can fly over it. You know, the going over a hill really fast compared to going over a hill really slow.
Yep. Yeah.
Our cats in heat. You hear?
So with you know regular you know, traditional mats, you know, Gold Hog, all that, you know, where they've got you know, the regular ripples. So that stuff is just going in, swirling around. It leaves, it'll go into the next one until it finds a spot where it gets stuck down in there. So there's, you know,
somewhere down the line,
they've all got the same type of you know, system. You know, with the Dream Mat, when it's being introduced, it's slamming down through the mat. It's basically got two different levels of water flow. So you have your upper and your lower in a vortex. So, you know, the heavy material is getting tossed in there. It's kind of dropping down, filtering. Your lighter materials, they're the ones that are shooting over top in that upper level of water. The heavier materials is going into the lower section and getting trapped in that lower system of water. And it's really difficult to pop you know, gold or lead or anything like that back up and out of those cells once it drops into that different water system.
Definitely.
Now, curious, Rick. I know you've lived in the North Cascades all your life. You're an outdoors enthusiast. Let's hear the story of how you got bit by the gold bug.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so I didn't live up in Marble Mount all my life. I've been up here since the summer of '98. So I think how it originally started was, I think I was about 7 years old, and we were on a family vacation in a tiny little motorhome, and we ended up doing the Cascade Loop. So we stopped along the Skagit River and we took a break, because from where we live down in Southwest Washington, we come up through here is a several-hour drive, and there's 4 of us kids and 2 adults. So we stop along this big old freaking gravel and sandbar, and we're out there playing, and I'm looking in the water and I'm going, wow, I think that's gold. And so I end up going back to the motorhome, and I got this coffee can full of these sands. I just scooped it right out, and I'm thinking I'm rich. I'm 7 years old. I'm thinking I'm rich because it looks like gold to me in these sands. It's reflecting the whole works. We continue our trip. We end up over in the little town of Liberty, and we're at the little gift shop, and we're looking at different specimens and gold and all sorts of cool stuff. And I've got a couple bucks in my pocket, so I get these little souvenir things, and I'm really looking at these to find out they're iron pyrite little nuggets, and I'm thinking those are gold. And so I tell this guy, I was like, hey, I only got a couple bucks, but I'm really eyeballing one of those. And I got this coffee can full of gold. And so he's like, yeah, bring it on in. Let's take a look. And so I run back out to the motorhome. I come back in, and I got this coffee can, and he dumps it out into this big tub. And he's looking at it, and he's looking at me, and he's like, I tell you what, you can take one of those little nuggets right there. So I packed around this little nugget for a long time in my pocket, and it was iron pyrite. There was probably no gold in the black sands. It was just mica and pyrite and different stuff.
Right.
So that was really cool. So I always had this interest for gold. I just never really got into it until about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's gonna surprise the heck out of you guys. I've only been prospecting for about 5 years.
Well, I haven't been prospecting much longer. I've only
Yeah.
been prospecting going on 9 years, maybe 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
See,
know?
I've most of my life I've hiked, hunted, fished, backpacking up into these alpine lakes. I've been to 48, 53 local alpine lakes up here. Never once had I ever thought about gold panning or anything. I seen cool stuff. I never really, got back into it. I had a lot of downtime with work and stuff, got hurt, and there was a couple gold pans down at our local store, and I figured, I'm gonna buy one of those and just kind of test my luck around here and all that. And I didn't really find anything. I started doing a lot of research and figuring out that my town and all of these little towns through here were what you call little boosting communities or booster towns, where it's that they were for the miners. The miners stayed there and they traveled
Like
up into
support
these mountains.
towns.
Yeah, and so I started
Like what
figuring
you
out,
find
it's like,
outside,
whoa.
like what you find outside the bases.
Yeah, so I figured that, wow, I live in a historical mining area, and there's got to be more gold here. So I got online. I was like, hey, anybody got a sluice that they'll let me use so I can go, try to find some gold? I think I'm on some gold. I don't know. I want to run some. And I had a couple friends. Leo hooked me up with a little gutter sluice that he got at this Saturday market thing. That was cool. So I was able to screen stuff down and do a little clean out. Start seeing a little bit of color. Another friend had one of those small little Keen sluice boxes, the 6.5 wide, little backpack sluice. So I started pounding stuff through there, and next thing you know, I got like half a gram of gold of just dust. And I was like, well, that's cool. So I figured, well, I gotta get more material, get more gold. And so I
That's the
started
way it works out.
yeah, so I started testing all these different creeks. The next thing you know, I decided I was gonna build my own sluice box. So I did. It's out of wood. I got pictures of it. Wood, and the top flare is off of some, ceiling light fixture, that I bent.
You should see mine.
Yeah, it's all nailed together. Oh man, so I started taking that out, and bam, I found a picker. And to this day, you know, I think back on it, and I'm like, I think that was the moment that really, really got me hooked, because
I will do
then
it.
I knew that the old timers didn't get all the good stuff, or we wouldn't have pickers.
Right. Now,
So
now let me guess. You were an avid fisherman and outdoors. Now you're rebitten by the gold bug as an
yeah,
adult. You never have looked at the rivers or streams the same again.
no, I look at things completely different now. Um,
Yep.
Completely different. I could look at the stream and tell, where a fish is going to be sitting. There's so many different things that I it just, yeah, like you said, I can't look at it the same. It's just a completely
Well, but
different world.
that's not the first thing you look for when you see a creek anymore either, is it? It's not where the fish
No,
are. Where's the gold?
But
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
good
it's
idea. It
instantly.
takes me back to that fisherman who told me he was a prospector. He always
Hmm.
took his pole with him, and where
Hmm.
he would catch a fish, he would sample.
Yeah, yeah. So I like to pack a little. It's a small little pack pole. And a couple lures, a couple flies. Nothing big and fancy. I take that on the trips with me, up to the claims and up in the mountains. And when I'm sluicing, I will actually fish behind my sluice, and I'll do a little catch and release, or keep a couple and fry them up right there on the bank. But yeah, wherever the
Fish,
fish are,
there's
normally you want to be sampling those areas. For some reason, they're kind of connected.
um, GoPro Unlimited, Fish Guard the Gold,
Yeah.
and Kyle Keen Prospecting, Fisherman to Prospecting, yeah.
Hmm.
Pocket Fisherman by Ronco.
uh, Brad says his top telescopic fishing rod is always within reach, as well as the gold pan. And
Yeah.
it
So
shows.
I the telescopic poles are kind of nice. They pack down and all that.
Right.
Personally, I just go down to, either the Walmart or in any of the fishing stores, and I get those little ice fishing poles, because heck, they go right in my pack. Um,
Right.
they're lightweight, and heck, when you hook anything from, a 12 to 17-inch fish in a small creek like that, it's like you got a big old
Well, that's
steelhead
got to
on.
be fun.
Oh, it's cool. That pole's all bent over, and
Oh, I
yeah,
bet
it's
I mean,
cool.
that's like catching a carp on a fly rod.
Yeah, yeah, and those poles, you can bend them all the way in a big circle.
Hmm.
They don't break. I've never broke one.
Uh,
I slammed one in the truck door and broke the tip off, but that's,
I had a
typical.
friend that would catch huge muskie with those little poles.
Yeah, I actually
Ice
used to
fishing.
tiger muskie fish. I was on a tiger muskie adventure there for a while, and I was fishing down there at Mayfield Lake, and I was trying to beat the state record. I actually met the guy that broke the record down there. I happened to just be coming in out of the boat, and we started talking, and that was a whole nother story. But yeah, I've been a quarter inch away from beating the state record. I've had over the poundage, but it has to be at least 50 inches or greater to qualify, and it was 49 3/4.
Oh no,
But I've,
that's
I've I've caught several trophy fish that I had to take, get my picture and get it back in the water. They're big by the time they get close to 50 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. Fishing and prospecting. Weird combination, but what did I just see here? Oh yeah, fishermen, prospectors want to get as much of this tiny little gold as they can get, working as hard as they can, and fishermen want to catch the biggest fish on the smallest rod.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
talk to a fisherman, they brag about they caught this monster fish on this 4-pound test with a little kid's fishing rod, and they're all
Mm-hmm.
proud of themselves about it. That's cool. And for us, oh, look at all the little tiny specks of gold I got in this pan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the main thing is you're out there having fun. You're
Right.
you're
That's the main thing. You're outside.
Yep, out in the outdoors, just you and the water, and
Right.
it's pretty relaxing. And I've been kind of making myself sit down a little bit and actually soak up some of the appreciation along the stream. Is that you get down there and you're like, oh, I gotta dig, and I don't get so many pictures. I don't get sit down and look around. You'll be amazed on the different views and different places. It just sit down and give yourself 5 minutes.
Sure. Heck yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not dissing on Dora the Explorer. She got that's a nice combo she's got there. I bet you can catch
Yeah.
a good sized walleye with that.
Hmm.
If you have a bad prospecting, get the rod out and do a bit of fishing. Something about the serenity of being in the bush and getting busted up on a cheap rod from an awesome bass or barra.
Hmm.
Barracuda. Yeah,
Brad, well,
absolutely.
he's from Australia.
I tell you what, I used to go fishing with my father-in-law.
Hmm.
He never baited his hook.
Hmm.
Well, you're not gonna catch anything. He says, I know. I'm just sitting here drinking my beer, enjoying the time, sitting
Yeah.
here, and that was cool. He was happy with that.
Yeah.
Me, I'm busting my ass trying to catch fish all day long.
Hmm.
But yeah, hey Ed, do you want to set up for a giveaway later at the end of the night?
Yeah, do you want to do a word or just random?
Uh, just random. Who's ever in the chat room chatting?
Okay. You have to be active to win, so if you want a
That's right.
chance to win an adventure sluice by Dream Map over at by Prospector's Dream.
Especially for you guys that are curious but don't want to spend the money. There you go.
You have your chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I approve of the Adventure Sluice. It's a nice little unit. It you dang near put it in your back pocket if you have big enough pocket.
Right.
But
They got
yeah,
a pocket sluice for that.
Yeah. The
He's got a
pocket
pocket sluice
I've
for
even
that.
used that in Pot Gold. It's they're yeah.
Mr. Lodak won one a few weeks back. How's it? Have you tried it yet, Karen?
Oh, I doubt it.
I know.
He's like
But he took
our
it this
friend
time.
Ray. He's like our friend Ray.
But wait a minute. He took it this time. He always passes it up.
Yeah, he
Right?
probably
And
gave
this time
it
he took it. He
away.
says, "Go ahead, send it to me." So
Oh, one of my friends, Robert, he made this for me. I'm gonna probably put the Rick Stash mining up here, and that's gonna be part of
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's burned into the
nice.
wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wood burning. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like Rick.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. And then I don't know if you guys seen this. Um, a friend of mine was over in Hawaii on vacation, and he just happened to be at this store, and he looks over, and the thing was for sale, and he bought it and sent it to me. Um, he's like, when I seen it, it said you all over it. So this is pretty cool. I gotta figure out some more history on these coins, and maybe somebody that's on the channel or whatever could reach out and give me a little history. I want to know more about these. What
Well,
these are the 1900 through 19, what is it, 1909, no, 1911, 1900, 1903,
V nickels.
1909. These are all early 1900, those Liberty nickels. And then there's supposedly the gold one here in the middle. But yeah.
That's a cool gift. I have something like that, but different. It has a bunch of V nickels and some silver in it. Talks about
Yep.
the 49ers and the
Yeah,
Comstock
that's what this is.
lode, and silver and gold mining and stuff. But that's cool. That was cool of
Yeah.
him to think of you like
I
that.
I think it's just awesome, Josh, he's a really good friend of mine. I've known him for quite a while. That was a pretty awesome gift. And so I want to figure out the history behind those coins, and just learn more, because I personally like learning old history, because it's not taught today. It's not really easily accessible anymore. So yeah, the old mining history up here. I'm still
Right.
learning that, and each time I'm learning more and more and more.
Were you into history in school, or is that something that just happens since you've been
Sorta.
doing this?
Well, history back in school was, I think, a lot different. They didn't really say much about mining or anything like that. It's more or less, war and politics stuff and who was
Right.
famous and that kind of stuff.
There's
But
a bunch of good books for Skagit Valley. If you go to LeConner and go to the Skagit Valley Historical Society, I believe it is there. It's not far from the Rainbow Bridge in LeConner. There's some book series, and a lot of them talk about the mining history of Skagit Valley. The sourdough and the cachoe, it's a name for Indian, but cachoe, damn it, I used to have that book too. Oh, there's a lot out there you can find. Just I know it's hard for you being in Marble Mount to get to like Burlington or even Cedro Woolley.
yeah,
But
I don't get down there very often. It's a little bit of a drive.
I can imagine where I live, Mount Vernon was 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
where you live in Marble Mount, that's quite a bit farther. But yeah, even the library at Skagit Valley College, just just some. Also, I found a lot of stuff. The Conservation Corps, they would have geologists and mining engineers with them and everything while they were going through the mountains, building roads and stuff during the Depression and stuff. And they would log it all. And they were talk about samples they took in road cuts and stuff, or a guy would pan this creek, or a geologist would pan this creek or that creek, and pretty good detail. And you can find those too, and check old bookstores too. You might be surprised. There's a lot of wealth of information out there, but nowadays, I remember when I was first getting into prospecting and stuff, the legwork was a lot harder. Internet wasn't a
Yeah.
thing. You
Yeah.
know, to get a list of claims and stuff through the BLM, you got it on microfiche. So you had to get a microfiche reader to read the microfiche. I used the one at Woods Logging Supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked history anyway. Just deep diving in mining history was really cool, and you have a lot there, like Darrington
Yeah.
area, not far from you down
Yeah.
the
That's another
Sauk.
great location. Yep.
Yeah, we're very rich. Monte Cristo down south a little ways, you know.
Yep.
Um, lots, tons of information.
Yeah. It's amazing on how much gold is undiscovered, and it even with the crystal mining and stuff. There's so many different areas that hasn't been discovered in these Cascade Mountains. The Cascade Mountain range is huge.
Oh yeah.
And I know that guys put boots on the ground, but they they didn't get
Well,
to
we've had a lot of
experience
seismic activity since back in the day
yeah,
too, you know, and
more earthquakes,
a lot of landslides and
a lot of slides, a lot of big slides.
like even like unfortunately what 2-3 years ago Oso about got wiped off the map by a big old landslide, you know.
Yep.
There's actually some pretty good gold history in the Deer Creek area,
Yep.
which flows right down into Oso, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I've been home, brother.
Yeah, that Deer Creek, I went up there and played around with that. Yeah, there's gold to be found there, but it where I was, it was just gray clay everywhere. It was nasty. I couldn't even pan that stuff. It was so bad. And so I started doing a little asking around, and I'm like, hey, is this because there's big slides, or what's the deal? Because there is a lot of gray clay, and it's just nasty to work with. And they're like, hey, those guys really hit Deer Creek hard, and they long top the heck out of it. And they moved a lot of material, and there was lots of landslides after that. But those good old boys really stripped that stuff down on top of that clay and exposed it, so everything else slid off. So it's that Deer Creek area is pretty nice little area.
Have you done any venturing up towards the Mount Baker mining district? Like on the
No,
North Fork Nooksack or anything like that?
no. Well, I used to go snowboarding and stuff up there, but I never, you know, that's a long ways up and around the whole freaking mountain, or mountain range to get back up into that area. I haven't done too much on the North Fork. I have gone and checked out some areas on the South Fork, and I can't quite get up there to where you used to mine.
Well,
Um,
it's hard now ever since Crown Pacific sold it to
yeah,
whoever. I heard Janicki bought them, but I heard it's somebody else.
Sarah
Now,
Pacific. Sarah Pacific owns that land.
oh,
Um,
okay. And they
and
won't even
so
let you drive in there no more.
no, I got in a little bit of trouble here in 2008. After those guys had bought it, I was behind a gate, and I had a key that I actually purchased from Crown. I didn't know that Crown sold their land to Sarah Pacific, and I went to court, and unfortunately I lost. Um, even though I had my key, I had my paperwork, everything was legit. They were just trying to make examples out of people, and You know, they really don't want you up in there. They'll let you walk up there, but don't dare drive. Don't bring a motorcycle. You can, probably horseback ride or a bicycle or hike, and
Right.
that's it. Other than that, they don't want you in there.
Well,
And that's
last time I
unfortunate
was
because
in Skagit Valley, we've talked about fawn and elk flats,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I used to go to Crown. I'd get combinations every month to gates wherever I wanted,
yeah,
and it'd be like
yeah.
waving to fawn at the security booth. See you, fawn. I might
Yeah,
stop off at Elk Flats. Do you mind? No, not at all.
mm-hmm,
And, but
yeah. Fawn was she's in my aunt's side of the family.
yeah, you said you were related to her,
Yeah,
but
we used to go up there. We used to ride four wheelers and stuff up there a lot. We'd camp out and stuff. I knew that they gold pan and stuff back then, but like I said, I just
yeah,
it
they
I
they
never put the
actually
two
did a
together.
lot of dredging there.
Yeah,
Um,
Brent, he lived up there at Ben and Fawns, and he's told me multiple different awesome stories, about dredging and sluicing up in there, and they did really, really well.
I believe Ben, right?
Yeah,
I
Ben.
believe he actually had a pond in Elk Flats in the floodplain where he came across old gravels
Yeah,
from the Nooksack and dredged it and did really, really well.
yeah.
At that time, Daryl Grimbley's from up on Dukes Hill area north of
Mm,
Cedro Woolley. But
mm,
him and I, by any chance, do you know where Tiny Tim's Tattoos is in Cedro Woolley?
yeah.
We used to have a prospecting store in that same area.
Oh, okay.
It was called Paystreak Enterprises.
Hmm.
And
I
um,
I think I actually remember that actually because I used to drive through there going to work.
yeah, but me and Daryl Grimbley did that. At that time I
Mm,
was remodeling Woods Logging Supply. You have to pay for
yep.
your hobby somehow.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but yeah, but um, yeah, Ben and I just, oh man, I miss it. 'Cause shoot, Muddy Creek flowing through my backyard when I lived on Medford Road. You
Yeah.
know, it drains right behind the guard shack, right
Yep.
between Main Line and Medford Road. I could catch
Yep.
salmon out of it and get gold.
Yep.
Take a little jaunt up to Red Cabin Creek, find fossils, find gold. Out to the Nooksack, find platinum, find gold. Damn it.
Yep.
Damn it, Rick, you're making me homesick, dude.
I know, man. It's hard, man. It is, and it's. I'm really fortunate to be able to pretty much go in any direction and go find some sort of gold or something cool.
Right.
Um, and I can't wait till the freaking snow melt is gone so I can get back up in the hills, get back on those chunky pickers and chunky flakes. um we're gonna do really, really well this year.
Well,
And then
I hope
and
you
then I
the.
got my Montana dredging over there with Robert with Snapshot Mining. And then also July, I'll be going down to Oregon. It's one of our club claims. We got the dredge permit for a claim down in Oregon. So
Wow.
our
Nice.
members are going to be able to go down and dredge and stuff, and I'm gonna we'll be able to sluice, high bank, dredge, So we're gonna go down there, and I'm gonna spend probably 4 or 5 days down there before I head to Montana.
They probably
Um,
worked real hard on that because Oregon's.
yeah, yeah, it cost them a little bit, and but they did get approved. Everything's good to go. We have a full schedule, so I think it's the 1st of July through the 14th. So we're hoping to have a dredge running nonstop. Between my dredge and the other guy's dredge, we can only run one dredge in the creek at one time with our permit. But so we'll have 2 different dredge sites, and then we're gonna have high bankers and all that down there. So
Nice.
yeah, our
It's
WPMA club, that's gonna be a fun dig.
it's a shame the way that Washington and Oregon has gone. And I know Washington Prospectors Mining Association has been putting up the good fight for
Yeah,
decades.
yeah,
Decades.
yeah.
For our
It's
rights to prospect and mine.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, we shouldn't be denied, our permits for dredging and high banking on our plains. That there should be, some sort of a separation between, the land that's claimed that we can work and, just public area. I think there should be a difference in that, if there is. They just passed off all these regulations and completely redone the fish and gold pamphlet, where there's none of it makes sense. There's regulations that are contradicting each other. There's so many gray areas. Not even the Fish and Wildlife Department even understands it themselves. It's
Well, they leave it vague on purpose
yeah,
so
yeah,
that
exactly.
that you can interpret, so they can interpret it the way they want to at any particular time, whatever fits their plan for that day.
But with their
Fortunately,
regulation, there's no. I don't think there's even a RCW that they could actually pin on you to even write you a ticket.
well, look,
They don't even understand what the rules are.
right. Well, that's because they make everything so vague that it's hard for anybody to understand. And not only that, look, like in California, yes, you can dredge, but you have to go through these hoops,
Yeah,
and then you have to get a permit, which they will at some point give to you whenever they get ready to, which could be
yeah,
never.
yeah.
So they make the regulations vague like that on purpose so they can do stuff like that. It's not a real law. I mean, let's not get into that.
Yeah. It's no real law. It's
Right.
they're yeah. It's the crazy
That's
show
like
that they put on.
right. That's like the ATF coming out and saying, "Well, we're not going to let anybody use 22 rifles anymore."
Yeah,
They can't.
they can't.
They can't do that.
No,
But
they can't.
so let's get back to prospecting. But yeah, as far as regulations for dredging and stuff like that, it's just stuff that was allowed to get by, and it's like if I give you a raise today because you did such a good job, I gave you a $5 an hour raise. I'm such a good guy, right? But then a week later, I'm pissed off about this or that. You might have did something, yeah. You might have done something 5 years ago that all of a sudden I remembered. Now I'm going to say, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not going to give you a $5 raise. I'm only going to give you 50 cents. Are you going to stay? Are you going to be happy? No. No. So once they put a regulation like that in, they're not going to take it away because they're going to make too many people upset. Not the ones that count, just the ones that count to them.
Yep. Yeah. So Dennis Peterson, over here in Washington, he's doing an amazing job, trying to get everything in order and take these guys back to court again and try to get some of the rules changed back over. He's got an idea of, starting with, at least allowing us to do recirculating, high bankers or whatever,
Right.
because, just trying to get foot in the door. But thing is I see things a little bit different than some of these guys, though, because I think that it's actually better if we just high bank on the gravel bars, because the water's gonna filter back into the stream eventually, and it's gonna be
Well,
kind of clean.
the-
If I can
there's
legally
where
go
the
and put a sluice in the
sticky
creek,
language and politics
yeah,
come from.
yeah.
And
See, I could put a sluice in the creek, and I could run just as much, or if not more, in my sluice than I could in my high banker.
right.
But sluicing is introducing it into the stream, and it's legal. But with a high banker, leaving it on the bank, and filling back in your holes at the end of the
Well,
day,
that right there.
they
What
say
you just
bad.
said is what you just said is what the problem is. What you said that running a sluice, you're putting the material back into the creek. Well, no, you're not. All you're doing is moving it from one spot to another. It's never really left the creek. So that makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, well, Shannon Poe, made a really awesome statement the other day on a live that we're on. He's like, that dredging is the safest and most efficient way to actually prospect.
It's the most environmental friendly way
yeah,
too.
yeah. Fish and Wildlife uses it. The state uses, dredging. They all dredge, and it's the safest way to transport fish and the safest way to remove settlement and
that's how they blow when they stock fish.
Yeah,
that's how they blow them into the rivers and lakes. The same way.
Yeah.
Like our club here in Ohio, we work with the trout fishermen. In fact, they have permission to come on our creek, and they don't want us to fill the holes in. They want them because if you know trout, they like cold water and they like to be able to get out of the flow.
Yeah.
So
creating a better environment for them.
Yeah, the trout fishermen here in our creek, anyways, the ones that the club that comes to our creek, they love it. They're out there right there with you, fishing, in your old hole,
I have pictures of guys catching foot-long trout right behind my dredge. Boom.
Yep. Yeah, they're right there feeding it. There's bugs and all sorts of different organics, and they love that,
Right. So we all know that the regulations governing this prospecting are just nothing but pure politics. Have nothing to do with any kind of science, or have nothing to do. Even if they were to follow the science, they would understand that dredging has almost no effect on the fish population. It's very minimal, if at all.
Well, if they followed real science, they would know we're not harming nothing,
Right.
No.
It's follow the money. Reminds me of something else our country has been through and globally has been through for the past 3 years.
Yeah, follow that money, and that'll pretty much sum up the whole story, agenda, everything.
And
it's just like right now, like in my area, all the way down, through the Skagit Valley, they're going and tearing out these old culverts, and they're creating these fish passageways, and they're spending all this time and resources and money and doing all this. Like down the road, I stopped and walked up and asked the flagger. I was like, hey, could you tell me what the name of this project is? And he's like, oh, this is just the DOT fish passageway. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, so who approved the permitting for you guys to remove this material and dig in the stream and dig all this out? And he's like, oh, DOT. And I was like, well, no, DOT didn't approve it. Who actually approved it? Because, I'm kind of curious on who's actually okaying for these guys to dig up all these areas with equipment in the stream, and even the streams that's not even running. There's no water in them at all, and they're making these fish passageways that never have water.
Yeah, because the fish don't know how to get up the river, right?
Yeah. Well, there's no water. Like the guy goes, oh, there's fish in there. And I was like, dude, I've lived here since '98. There's no fish in that creek. He's like, oh yeah, I've seen them. I was like, okay, well, maybe when it was flooded and the fish were coming in to kind of catch a break from all the muddy river water, the scatter gets raging, and
Yeah, it does.
yeah, so those fish will take a break right at the head parts of those creeks. But a lot of these creeks that cross through there, they dry up and they only run with snow melt or heavy rain.
Yeah, they're
Um,
intermittent.
Right.
Yeah.
GPU was answering your question as to who gives out the permits. It's the same guys that deny your permit.
Well, exactly. So the guy goes, well, let me ask you, why are you asking all these questions? And I said, well, I'd like to know who's approving them. The reason why is because who approved yours is disapproving ours.
Right.
In the mining and prospecting world. And it's you guys are doing it on a large scale and removing and all this. I was like,
literally changing the stream.
Oh yeah, completely changing it drastically. So there's got to be, if we were to do that mining, what steps would we have to go through? What kind of money we'd have to do, and what permits would we have to get approved to do what they're doing? And they would never allow that. But if we're just going down there to move a couple of yards, in a prospecting or mining trip, we should be able to be approved, because our impact is very little to none. These guys are straight up tearing out big areas, and so all that settlement and all that stuff is going back into the river. So I'm curious on what permits they actually had to get to tear all this stuff up. And
what happens? Well, what happens there is, in order to get your permit, you have to grease the wheel with enough grease.
Right.
So they're using our money to do it.
Well, duh.
Well, yeah, and
how do they? Yeah, because how does the government make money?
Yeah,
they don't.
It's a state job, so they're.
What I'm saying is the government produces nothing that makes money. Mm-hmm. The government don't produce a thing that makes money for the country, so their money comes from us and only us for whatever they want to do. But again, back to prospecting.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of this has to do with prospecting.
It does fit in with prospecting.
It's like going back to the California issue. For years and years and decades, the Sierra Club and extreme environmentalists have been pushing and getting the native tribes on their side to eliminate suction dredge mining.
Yep.
But who's in the lakes right now in California dredging the Sierra Club? They're saying they're doing it for fish habitat, but they're getting paid by the government, the people, or let me rephrase that. They're getting paid by the people of California to do what dredgers, miners used to do.
Yep.
And
Agreed.
they also get the gold as a bonus.
Yep.
And so, it's like, don't do as we do, do as you're told,
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yep. Well, it's just like, say, with the National Park Service, they've gathered up so much land throughout all of our gold bearing areas. They're holding the best gold areas.
that's
Oh,
our
yeah. Hell yes.
national parks,
So
our
pay attention to that.
wildernesses. If you look
Yeah.
at old maps, like North Cascade National Park, you look at
Yep.
the old maps of there, you see old
Yep.
patented claims and all kinds of stuff all over it.
I've heard
Same.
stories about the Grand Canyon too. It's the same thing.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
bottom of the Grand Canyon, that used to be mine. There's tunnels and everything down it, and they think that might be where the lost city of gold is.
Never know. Go in there now and you'll have men in black
Yeah.
men in
Yep.
black hunting you down.
Yeah. So yeah. So if anybody's like curious on where can I find better gold, start researching those areas that border the National Park
Yeah,
Service and complex. You're gonna surprise
national
yourself.
parks, wilderness areas,
Yep.
everything where it's like, don't touch, don't do nothing, leave nothing but footprints, don't even
Yeah.
pick up a rock, you know. Those
How about
surrounding
you?
areas, if you could find something open, it don't necessarily have to be open to mineral entry, but
Mhm.
just be able to prospect. What I really don't like, I was thinking of this today, actually, is how we're not allowed. If I go home, I know some really good land on DNR land for
Mhm.
prospecting that it's out of. We're no longer allowed to prospect on DNR land, state land in Washington no more.
Yep.
That bites.
Yeah, that's another area that has really good potential and used to be worked.
Yeah, jeez. And it sucks. I remember when when I was in Washington Prospecting Mining Association, we would try to get off-roaders in with us, even the fishermen, and
Yep.
they fought us and say, no, they're not coming for me. No. And now I hear the off-roaders are trying to get help from miners, and it's like, we
Mhm.
told you they were coming for you eventually.
Yeah,
And
Yep.
right. They started blocking the roads and stuff, sure.
the fishermen don't know it yet, but they're coming after them too.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
duck hunters.
Exactly.
And the
Yeah.
duck hunters and lots of other people. It's
Right.
I think they must think we're like the easiest mark at this point. We're the weakest of the different outdoor groups. Because
Yep.
they want us to look at it from our TV screens, not be out in it.
Well, where
So,
they show spawned out dead fish and blame it on miners, when they show 1800s hydraulic mining and say that's what we're doing, or they show a big, huge bucket line dredge and say that's what we're doing, and talk about disinformation and misinformation, and there's the agenda. The agenda
so
is get us completely out and pack us like rats in
right.
cities, and we
That's
can
why
only
that's
go
why
through this corridor or that corridor.
Yep.
well we get guys like you out here on the show. One of the things that we like to push is that you show some of your reclamations, some of your cleanup
Yep.
Yeah.
in your videos to show people that we just don't tear the place up, because that's such a false impression of what people have of prospectors, hobby miners, just being outdoors in general. I mean,
Yeah.
for sure. There's groups out there that don't care about nature itself. They're just out to have fun. I'm not going to name which groups I think those are, but you know, riding four-wheelers and stuff around the desert and throwing your beer cans all over the place is not.
The Canadian hillbilly. You're right. The media makes us out to be evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not just right. And the way they do that too, not just news media, but even the gold shows. And everybody in the chat's heard me complain about this. They don't show reclamation. They don't show the cleanup.
Yeah,
they don't show none of that. And
well,
they should.
They don't show enough small scale too. That's what I like so much about. Well, a fellow Washingtonian was in that for a while in Devil's Canyon. Sluice Goose was in there in Devil's Canyon. It was small scale. It was more like what we did. It ain't the Tony Beats and the Schnabel and stuff like that where they're out there. Only thing closest to us now they show is Whitewater. But you know, those bigger ones where they're showing large scale mining, yes, they need to show more of the reclamation like Dave Turin. Like Dave Turin did one episode.
It's all, that was a special episode. That's all he did.
They need to show more of that, but people get, a lot of people are getting bit by the gold bug to shows like that. But the majority of people look at it like, oh, they're raping the land. And then they don't show how they leave it when they're done with reclamation and how it looks like it did before. Once the forest floor grows and the trees they planted, they probably plant 3 to 4 to every one they harvested in the first place. So
well, that was nice about what Dave did with that special he did was the fact that he showed what it looked like before and then what he showed like a year later, and you couldn't even tell that
it'll grow up,
the trees were small and everything, but everything was planted. It looked like a nice place to visit.
I've got some videos back on my Facebook. I got a lot of different reels and small videos and stuff on the Facebook, the TikTok. I'm kind of getting back going with the YouTube. I finally got me, a GoPro, so I'm able to get some better content this year. But I've got videos of me, reclaiming my holes and everything. Awesome. I did, pretty decent sized holes, and a lot of guys like to hike through there, fishing, and they'll be hiking through there in the dark, and they don't want to fall in any of those holes. So, I reclaim it really nice, and I know where I'm gonna dig the next time. Here this last month, we had a couple good days, and I went down and I was gonna go do some sluicing, and I just wasn't feeling up for the actual sluicing part. Back was hurting, so I just brought my pan and the little basic stuff, and I was gonna try to find some hot spots. And there is some guys that don't fill in their holes, and so they had one spot that was kind of trenched out, pretty good. I spent about 3.5 hours backfilling most of that trench. With big boulders and rocks and tailings and everything, and it wasn't my job to do it. I didn't dig it. But me liking to be down there, enjoying that part of the river, and me being a prospector miner, I wanted to fill those in, because that's leaving big holes like that for longer than 48 hours is one against the rules here in Washington State. You have up to 48 hours to come back and keep digging. But heck, if you're gonna trench that sucker out, you should be backfilling your tailings back into it.
Right. That's really, that's not that hard to do. And what's really cool is a lot of our chat room because we're talking about this now. They're talking about what they do, and I hope that I can say that because they listen to our show, they get what we're talking about, and they're doing that. And what I usually push is show that in your videos too.
Yeah.
Don't just do it. Show it in your videos. Show people that you're reclaiming. You're not just tearing up. Yeah, it's small. It's a small little thing to do,
Well,
but
you know,
if everybody does it,
yeah. See, we get a lot of rain here in the Pacific Northwest. So usually when we get a lot of rain or snow melt, the waters they do come up. So we get high water very often. It doesn't just get one good flood a year. It does every time it rains, the water goes up, and it's either gonna fill the holes in or flatten things out. It's always changing,
right.
and
That's why that's why here in Ohio, working with the trout fishermen, they don't have a problem. And since we're on a leased claim, we're the only ones that are there pretty much, and the fishermen. So we all know there's holes there, and we walk accordingly. So that helps too. I mean, when you're out in the open, like where you guys are at, where every time Dick, Harry, Joe Blow comes by and sticks a pan in the water, like for us, it's different, and everywhere in the country is going to be different. There's places that demand you fill in all your holes. There's places that don't care because they're working with the people.
Well, for a long time in Oregon, if you moved a boulder, you had to put it back where you moved it from once you were done.
Yep.
And
what they do before GPS.
And you have a bunch of scissor bills, as the buzzard would call them, doing bunch of BS in the capitals, that they don't know at all about. Rick, our friend Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter, have you done much crevicing? Do you do much crevicing?
Yeah. Last year I actually got into a bit more crevicing. Our water went down up where I was working on the claims, and I was able to get into some really cool bedrock areas. So I was able to do a little crevicing in there, and I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun that I ended up getting another wetsuit, a thick one from a buddy. It's a cold water wetsuit that he used to use for diving in the sound.
Right. So are you sniping also?
Yeah. So I got a full face mask and snorkel, and I'm gonna be back up there again this year, and I'm gonna do a lot more of that. I really enjoyed being out there,
Right.
So the I got into the crevicing a little more last year, and that was a blast. It's almost as cool as sluicing or dredging or whatever. It's just a completely different way of doing a little prospecting, but in the water.
Oh, that's the truth. It's kind of a whole different world.
That's a whole different type, but you know what? It can be very profitable too. Look at West Coast prospecting.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude.
Damon's doing really well, and our friend Pioneer Polly does really well sniping.
Doing real well, yeah.
Yeah, I watch Pioneer Polly. I'm a big fan of his. He has some really cool freaking videos.
And,
it's very energetic. I love
Vancouver Island is like, might as well be our backyard.
Yeah, it's just north of me.
It's a beautiful area, one day. But yeah, I haven't done no sniping in a while.
Yeah, you used to do a little bit of sniping up there on those claims that I've been kind of working up above.
Yeah. Dredging a couple waterfall plunge holes and sniping. Yeah. Good times, good times. I do know who has my old claims, so they're the
Yeah,
ones that have the ones below us on Clendenin and
yeah,
above
yeah.
G3, I think it is, and
Uh, yeah, yeah. So it's above the big tree. I won't say the exact name, but
right,
yeah.
right, right.
So
No Tell'em
but
Creek, no
yeah,
Tell'em Creek.
yeah. So yeah, up Stash 'em Up Creek. There's some cool waterfalls and bedrock areas. One spot particularly. Um, man, if Washington allowed us to dredge again, I'm going in there. I hiked down in there. I'm going to be doing some crevicing in there hopefully this year. I call it the moon. It's just it just looks like the moon.
Right.
It's completely different world when you're in that canyon and the water's low and it's straight bedrock and it's just big pools everywhere. It's totally cool.
Well, Ed, we're past 10 o'clock hour. We should give away a sluice.
All right, you know what to do, everyone. If you're lurking and you want to get in on an adventure sleuth, they're really cool. I have
Oh
one
yeah,
right
we
here.
got to say hi to our lurkers, Ed.
That's right.
Hi, lurkers.
We love our lurkers. Now, hopefully my green screen won't mess with it. Oh, good, it ain't. This is the adventure sleuth. This is what you'd get. There's 3 stages of
Loose.
cells
Capture.
in there. You have the micro and the Cape D and the mini, and it's the alternate one too, the high-low.
Right.
Yep.
It
Yeah, I love the
works.
high-low
It
profiles.
works really, really well.
Yep.
Ask Ohio Relic Hunter. He's won one and been using it, and he seems to be really happy with it. To try it,
Yep.
Mr. Lodak.
Yeah,
I'm just
and I'm
saying
really
it
happy.
never hurts to try. I'm not saying totally throw away your Gold Hog, but I'll tell you this. Gold Hog makes a real good underlayment for my dream mat.
Quit teasing them. We want to use it.
All right, Robert's still here.
Yeah, my favorite still is the 1-inch cell. I mean, that's just the
I
actual,
like the old 1-inch, the original 1-inch cell.
I
I
just-
really like it.
I got
So
to do nothing
my
but shovel
favorite
into it.
out of all the dream mats is gotta be the dredge mat. It is so
Oh, that's
aggressive.
awesome, man. Yeah.
It is. It's really aggressive, especially
Yeah, I have not
or high
fought-
banker. I run them in the big sluices when I got good water flow, and we shell right through there. I've bounced 5-inch rocks right on down that thing and just ripping, and it holds gold. It strips everything out. It's by far my favorite. I've had gold all the way up where it says Dream Mat on the dredge mat with high water ripping through there.
Oh, Jesse and I loves that when you get gold in the unicorn and in the letters that say Dream Mat at the top. Love it.
Oh man.
Front row gold, right,
Hey,
Jesse?
I have to answer this question from GPU here, our buddy. Why does everybody compare their mats to Gold Hog? Well,
Gold Hog is actually
here.
I don't compare it. I say give it a try.
Gold Hog was a really good mat.
Yeah.
When it came out, and all the different variations of it worked really well. But like I say with Dream Mat, until something better comes out, I'll be using Dream Mat. I used Gold Hog until something better came out. Then I started using Dream Mat.
Same here.
And we tell Dave that all the time.
Oh, we let Dave know all the time. You better keep up the good work, because if we find something better, we're gone.
Well, see, he knows that's the way this business goes.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that people still use miner's moss and ripples comes out of tradition. You
Yep.
know, it just comes
It's
out of
tradition.
tradition. You know, when Gold Hog first came out, he had just as much problem selling his Gold Hog, getting people to try that, but he
Yeah.
spent a lot of money on advertising, so that
Yeah.
helps him out a lot. But
Yep.
Doc had the same problems Dave has trying to sell his mats to people who were so bent on using the old traditional ways that even Doc had a hard time. But it finally went through. But he spent a lot of money on
Well,
advertising.
that's how.
Dave's
That's
going through
how.
the same thing.
Well, Dave
Yep.
don't really advertise. Really,
He don't
He
advertise.
self
You're
promotes
advertising
on
for
Facebook, and
us.
Yeah.
we promote him because we love it.
Yep.
I'm not going to promote something because maybe I'm getting paid or free stuff. No.
Yeah.
It-
I don't get paid from
That's
Matt, and
that
I
ain't
promote
how
the
it
heck
works.
out of it because it works. It works for me. You know, I'm just an average guy, just like any one of you.
Oh,
I
Dave don't
I
pay us. We
No.
might
Look.
beta test for him, but he don't pay
Yeah.
us.
we'll
I
run
love
tests
his
and stuff, so-
product.
Yeah.
But again, if something better comes along,
hmm
I'm friend loyal, but I am not product loyal. I'm not brand loyal.
Right.
If something better comes along, hey, I'm gold recovery loyal. Gold recovery loyal.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
Campsite,
Okay, where were
cassette,
we?
CD,
Yeah.
digital, always something new comes along, right? You know, hey, look, tube tires were replaced by what? Tubeless tires.
Right.
Who would have thought?
Right. Stone wheels were replaced by wooden wheels, and then rubber wheels.
Right. And yes, and on my channel, on my YouTube channel, there is also a video where I promote people who build around DreamMat, and I push Paul Jarvis, Ron Harris, or I mean
Paul
Ron
Jarvis
Adams.
builds great stuff. The Canadian
Yeah,
yeah.
hillbilly. I do that
Yeah.
for Paul Jarvis. That guy's stuff
Yep.
is amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, and Coulter.
Coulter
Yeah,
Young,
he's doing the
you
3D
know.
Coulter
print,
Young. His equipment is geared towards DreamMat. His magnets are designed to work with the DreamMats.
Yeah,
You know, so
I have one of his 3D printed headers for my
Right.
other adventure sleuths. You know, he was a cool guest too, just like Peterson. He was on what 3 years ago?
Dave.
No, he's from Washington.
Dennis Peterson.
Dennis Peterson, really good guy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But no, back to whatever we were talking about.
Talking about progress.
Progress. It happens, you
Progress.
know.
It's no look, Don G knows it's no longer Chevy versus Ford versus Dodge. It's gas versus electric. Boy,
right.
electric ain't gonna make it.
No,
ain't gonna make
no.
No, it ain't gonna go.
Definitely
Don't have-
unfeasible at this moment. You'll have to get a Back to the Future machine that has a small nuclear reactor on it.
So you got everybody's name in the thing. Let's get her done. Let's after 10 o'clock.
You know, Nightbot kind of does it for me. I have the Q word in the ready. I just need to click enter and see who it picks. I bet you they're not subscribed to me.
Let's see.
Nightbot always says that, even when I know they are.
Nightbot.
The Canadian hillbilly. Canadian hillbilly. If you would contact ToledoJes at AOL.com, right?
Yep.
We'll make sure that gets out to you. Congratulations, the
congratulations.
Canadian
Dave,
Hillbilly.
Dave will
Yeah.
probably have Karen send him one.
Right, or Paul.
Yep.
That's what did I say, Jaren? I meant
Yeah.
Paul. Sorry, Jaren.
But for him not paying the prices to get into magazines, International California Mining Journal, Gold Prospectors Magazine, or all that other, he's global now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know how David is. We love you, David, but you can be annoying sometimes, but we love you. But he makes a great product, hands down,
Yes,
great product.
Yep.
And heck yeah.
you got it.
Um, you, that is the right email, right, Jesse?
I don't know.
ToledoJes at
Yep.
AOL.com.
Yeah, just send me your address and then I'll send it to Dave and he'll send you the.
You're more than welcome, the Canadian Hillbilly. Everybody, thanks for joining us for another Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Next week, we're having Kayla from Gold Rush Whitewater join us. That should be really
fun.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
She seems
Yep.
like a really awesome gal, and
Yep.
guarantee you she could kick butt over a bunch of us guys in the river dredging.
Yeah, she's a tough girl. I
Oh yeah.
talked to her there on the messenger, and yeah, she seems a pretty down to earth woman. She
Yep.
works hard for her stuff. She's got a lot of that cool jewelry that
Oh
she's
yeah,
putting
she
together.
makes, yeah.
It's phenomenal. I got to see some of it at the gold show. A buddy of mine, he bought one, and wow, in person it was impressive. Really, really nice
I
work.
have a
I,
couple
I've
of
looked at her
things in
stuff
my
online.
shopping cart on her Etsy site.
Yeah.
Just I need to squeeze the money out to pull the trigger on it before someone buys it. But yeah, she's really talented, down to earth. I've had the pleasure
Yep.
of talking to her in Zoom meetings before.
Right.
And
Yeah, she does sell pay dirt also.
all of you remember when Carlos Miner was on our show from Gold Rush Whitewater? He's gonna be the guest for our friends. Yeah, he was at
Right.
the Monroe show. He's
Yeah.
gonna be the guest of our friends over at goldprospectorspace.com or here on YouTube, Prospectors Radio. This coming Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time now. It's going to be a good show. PM, of course, everyone should be a really good show. Also, she sells good pay dirt too. Oh, cool, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I'm not one for buying pay dirt, but I do have some of that in my basket too. Yeah, so would I, Robert. So would I. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for your shopping cart wish list. Thanks, Bill. That'd be much appreciated. While you're at it, you could start one for Jesse and I's trip to the Motherlode in July.
Oh, there you
So, because that's
go. Oh,
about
they
the
got up
only
to
way
$1.4 million, Ed.
Woohoo! Yeah, we're millionaires. What, in Monopoly money or something, Bill?
So why don't you sell it to him, Moto?
Jesse's gonna have to greet you with his hands around your throat again next time he sees you. Maybe it'd be both of us. No, we love you. And we love all our lurkers, all our listeners at Amazon Podcasts and iHeartRadio and Anchor.fm and Spotify, if I didn't mention that one yet. But if you want to catch us on the road or miss the show or busy doing housework, you can catch us on those podcast sites. Catch the replay. We don't go live there. Mention Carlos Miner over at our friends Gold Prospectors Space. We mentioned next week's show. We brought up anything else, Jesse?
Yes, one more thing. I don't know if everybody's seen this, but our favorite miner, TV miner, Fred Hurt, has stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
Brain cancer. So
Yeah.
some prayers out there for Fred Hurt. He's a good guy.
Yeah, give it up for Fred Hurt. Shower him with prayers and positive thoughts.
I'm trying to get him on the show, Ed, to talk about this this brouhaha that's been going on since he came on the show for Gold Rush.
There's quite the story behind that.
Yeah,
it's not what everybody thought by watching TV.
Never is.
It never is. It's just like Carlos Miner, and
we've interviewed enough of these guys on TV to realize that what they show us is not really the real story. It's all produced. They pick and choose what they want. They create the drama. And those guys are trying to work. They're trying to work. They're trying to find gold. They ain't worried about your drama.
Muchas gracias, bien amigos.
So and most of the guys here in this chat room understand that too, and they know that if you're on one of those shows and you come on our show, we don't talk about your show. Very little, if any, but we talk about you, which we didn't get to do much of tonight. Since you and Ed were talking about Washington all night. I knew that was going to happen.
There's always next time.
There's always the next time.
Don G says, there is a prospecting event at Twin Rivers Campground, Bath, New Hampshire, and dredging is still allowed in New Hampshire, June 16th through the 18th this year. I don't know. That's like a 16-hour drive for me. Depends if California, New Hampshire. I don't know. I can't make any commitment to it, but interesting. I'll have to put it for a definitely maybe. New Hampshire, beautiful country, good gold in New Hampshire and Maine too. Vermont too. I did really good in Vermont with just a shovel and a bliss box. You didn't hear that.
You're gonna have to plan on coming back home and hitting the creek with me.
I'll tell you this, Reg. When I'm back at home and I get up to Skagit Valley, I am going up to Marble Mount to meet you and dig some gold with you, buddy.
That'd be awesome.
Hopefully get some other Washingtonians together also. That'd be great. But even if it's just you and I on the creek cleaning some cracks and mossing, that'd be awesome.
I enjoy mossing. You pick up a lot of powder gold, Surprisingly, you could do really well.
Back home, that was a lot of my first steps in my prospecting sequences. I would grab some moss here, grab some moss there, and go. Well, next week's going to be a great show. I hope to see you here. We're going almost a half hour into overtime. Time flies when you're having fun.
Right.
Everybody, thanks again for joining us. Love you all. Love our lurkers. Love our podcast listeners. Until next week, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
That's right, because I say it every week, huh, Jess? Maybe
too.
one day too, we'll meet you on the river, and I sure hope so. Until then,
Cold.
you know what? We're out of here.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Brad, have a great day. Thanks
Mr.
again for
Lodak,
those
another
10,
great job.
Mr. Lodak. Thank you as always. Jeff,
Don G.
T-Rep, Moto,
2, 1.
Campsite,
You have a great week too, Don G.
Don G,
Robert,
Hamzu.
T-Rap. Good night.
Hello, hello. Good night, good night. David Villa. Adios, amigos.
Old Bucky. And with the golden